Welcome to Century Chute Easy Wave product line of trash and linen chute systems. The Easy Wave base station operator training video demonstrates the function of the base station controller within the overall chute control system. It helps operators respond to common chute system conditions by describing the base station user interface and explaining the purpose of chute system equipment sensors. Typically, the base station will be mounted on a wall near the bottom of the chute and plugged into a 120 volt AC outlet. The line voltage input connects to an internal power supply and generates an isolated low voltage DC to power the intake doors and control system electronics. The base station display on the front of the enclosure provides information messages about the chute system status. The toggle switch on the bottom of the enclosure allows the system to be enabled or disabled for the purpose of controlling access to the chute intake doors. The base station controller contains electronic hardware, software programming, and configuration parameters. Communication ports allow the base station controller to be connected to multiple intake doors and additional chute system equipment. The interconnections enable the base station to operate as a centralized master controller, monitoring the chute system status and controlling chute access by locking and unlocking individual intake doors based on user input and the control system programming logic. As part of the chute system installation, a communication cable is routed from the base station through flexible conduit up to the first door above the base station, where it is connected to door controller electronics inside the door frame. A second cable is routed from this point up to the next door and connected in a similar manner. Connections are repeated in this fashion from door to door until the last door on the top floor is connected. When an intake door on the top floor is the final component in the communication chain, a special termination plug will be installed to loop communication signals back down to the base station. The control system may be configured for different types of chute options. For example, bi-sorter or tri-sorter equipment may be added to separate 2 or 3 different types of waste within the chute. To change the control system in this manner, the base station configuration is modified by using parameter settings to add or remove optional chute equipment. This flexible system design simplifies the process of matching customer needs to specific site requirements. When all doors are connected and closed, when the base station is plugged in and enabled, it displays the most common message under normal operating conditions. It means all doors are closed and no alarm conditions have been detected. The chute system is ready and waiting for user input. At all intake doors, the LED indicator on the user interface panel will be off, indicating the chute idle status at each door. The most common operation under normal conditions will be to open an intake door. User input at the door generates a door open request signal. The signal is sent from the user interface panel to the base station controller through the communication cables. When the signal is detected, the base station displays the door open request information and evaluates the state of the chute system to determine if the door may be opened. At this stage, the user can open the door, drop in waste, and the door closes. Equipment sensors detect when the door closes, and the base station uses this signal to determine waste is falling through the chute. A countdown timer is triggered to wait for the chute chamber to be clear of falling material before the next open door request can be processed. Due to the frequency of opening intake doors, it is possible a door may not close correctly sometimes. it might be blocked by an obstruction or held open intentionally. In this case, the base station displays a door stuck open message and the associated floor level number. The information guides personnel to the source of the problem, and after the door is closed, the error is cleared automatically. The time limit for this counter is set by the base station configuration parameter Open Door Alarm. The most common operation under special conditions will be to remove a waste container from under the chute. Typically, this is necessary when the container is full or when it is time to be replaced based on a schedule. Use the toggle switch on the bottom of the base station enclosure to disable the chute system. In this mode, the control system will not unlock intake doors, and the purpose is to prevent users dropping waste into the chute while personnel are interacting with chute equipment. After all operations requiring lockout service mode are complete, set the toggle switch back to the enable position to allow the chute control system to provide intake door access. Before using chute lockout service mode, pay special attention to the state of the chute in case a door is already open. The chute control system cannot force an open door closed. It can only not unlock a closed door. When the toggle switch is set to lockout at the same time a door is open, the display message will not indicate lockout service mode until after the door is closed, and then lockout mode will be enabled automatically as indicated by the display message. Some of the most common optional devices are heat sensors and smoke detectors. Installing this type of equipment requires special connector modules to attach device wiring to the control system. Electrically, devices are installed in series with the communication cables interconnecting all intake doors to the base station. When devices are activated, internal switch contacts open and interrupt communication signals between the base station and intake doors. The base station detects the fire alarm condition due to the loss of communications with the intake doors. A fire alarm message is displayed and output alarm signals are generated to activate fire-related chute system equipment. For example, if a fire door release device is connected, it will be activated and the fire door rolls into the closed position. At all intake doors, the status LED will be red and the doors will be locked. A false fire alarm condition will be detected anytime the base station unexpectedly loses communication with the intake doors. This will happen if a communication cable is disconnected from an intake door or any auxiliary devices. A damaged communication cable or a bad signal connection would be another possibility. Locating the source of this type of fault is possible by looking at the red indicator lights at each of the intake doors. The communication cable also provides low voltage DC power to each door, and the indicator will not be read at any of the doors above the source of the fault because there will be no power available to illuminate the LED. The communication termination plug installed at the top door impacts the communication signals in a similar manner. If the plug is removed or missing, the communication signals will be interrupted and the base station will generate a false fire alarm condition. Optional cart sensors can be installed to automatically detect when a container is full and if a container is present. Sensors mounted on brackets located near waste containers are comprised of two pieces, a transmitter and a reflector. The transmitter emits a beam and the reflector returns the beam back to the transmitter. In the case of the cart full sensors, when an obstruction blocks the path of the beam does not return to the transmitter and a cart full condition is detected. In the case of the cart present sensor, the sides of the cart block the path of the beam and a cart present condition is detected. The combination of the sensor functions will generate a chute locked out mode from the time the container is full, keep it in lockout mode while the container is removed, and restore it to normal enable mode after the replacement container is positioned back under the chute. A false detection will occur if the reflector is out of alignment with the transmitter, or if the surface of the reflector is not clean. Over time, the reflector can become coated with dust or dirt, and this will trigger false detections. Gently cleaning the surface of the reflector will resolve the problem. It is also recommended carts be securely locked in place under the chute to prevent the impact of falling waste, accidentally moving the carts out of position. Presenting the full product line of optional equipment is beyond the scope of this video. Please refer to additional documentation for more information about the following products: external fire alarm interface, fire door release devices, compactor interface kits, washdown systems, booster power supplies, bi-sorter and tri-sorter equipment. This concludes our training video, and thank you for choosing Century Chute EasyWave product line of trash and linen chute systems. Please refer to the EasyWave chute system operating instructions and the EasyWave chute system installation manual for additional information.